In the 1980s, a man had a plan. A plan to build one of the most expensive resorts in the world on the shores of California. 5 massive hotels, a huge shopping district, and a large cruise ship terminal, all tied together around a new, state-of-the-art theme park based after the seas of the world. This man was Michael Eisner, and this plan was none other than the glorious Port Disney. This was supposed to be Disney's crowning jewel in Southern California. However, today, this plan is nothing more than some dust in a drawer and some stale water. So what exactly happened to Port Disney, and where are all the ideas and plans for Port Disney today? Well, I think the best place to start off the story is in the mid-1980s when Disney bought the Rather Corporation. Through deals early on in Disneyland's history, the Rather Corporation had full control over not only the Disneyland Hotel, but also the Disney brand name. This, of course, did not sit well with Disney executives, who were more than slightly pissed off that they were forced to watch their precious little hotel drop from a 4-diamond rating to a 3. So when the opportunity came to purchase the Rather Corporation, Disney did it in quite literally a heartbeat. Now when Disney purchased the corporation, they not only gained the rights to the Disneyland Hotel, but they also gained the leases to some Long Beach attractions as well as nearly 230 acres of expandable real estate in the Port of Long Beach. This gave Michael Eisner an idea. The previous expansion of adding Epcot Park to the Walt Disney World Resort proved successful in increasing the overall profits for the Disney company, and also proved that having a multi-day resort was indeed profitable. Michael Eisner wanted to replicate a sort of Disney World experience in California, with guests traveling to and from experiences by car or bus. In Disneyland, this wasn't exactly possible. Land wasn't readily available, and the land around Disneyland was surrounded by countless homes and motels. However, when Disney gained the nearly 230 acres of space in the Port of Long Beach, Michael Eisner put his plan to action, and thus created the idea for the one and only Port Disney. Now, what exactly is Port Disney? Most people will assume that it's just another theme park, but I can assure you it is way more than that. Port Disney was a multi-billion, yes, multi-billion with a B, dollar resort that was to expand the Disney Empire's reach from the land to the seas. This project would have cost Disney somewhere around the $4 billion mark today. Along with a cruise ship port, 5 hotels, and a massive shopping district, the resort was going to have special nighttime events, multiple transportation systems ranging from pleasure boats to overhead monorails, and a state-of-the-art theme park built on top of a landfill in the middle of the Port of Long Beach, called Disneysea. Now, Disneysea would be made up of 5 different lands. The first would be Mysterious Island, a land based around a giant volcano with stories following Captain Nemo and his adventures. The second was Heroes Harbor, a land focusing on mystical adventures of ancient times, like Sinbad and Odysseus, with attractions spanning from boat rides and a sort of aqua labyrinth attraction. The third was Fleets of Fantasy, a fleeting area with replica ships from ancient times, which also doubled as restaurants and attractions. The fourth land was Venture Reefs, a land that allowed guests to scuba dive and swim with sharks. Finally, the last land was Boardwalk and Rainbow Pier, basically Pixar Pier, but not trash. All of this was built around the main centerpiece of the park, which was Oceana, a structure that resembled rising bubbles and housed one of the largest indoor aquariums in the world, or was supposed to be, as well as a futuristic research center. Along with the plans to Disneysea, Disney had other ideas to further improve the area around Long Beach. When Disney purchased the Rather Corporation, they not only received the hotel and land, but also 2 very famous Long Beach attractions. These 2 things were the RMS Queen Mary, the last surviving transatlantic ship from the golden age of ocean liners, and the Spruce Goose, the largest wooden plane to have ever flown in the world. Disney wanted to turn the Queen Mary and Spruce Goose into profitable businesses, as well as use them as backdrops to the Port Disney project. Starting off with the Spruce Goose, Disney turned the Spruce Goose Dome into a sort of convention center, installing a permanent stage show, as well as hosting a variety of events like a classic car show. As for the Queen Mary, Disney left no penny unturned. Estimates say Disney spent somewhere around $2 to $4 million on refurbishments and upgrades. $40,000 of those dollars was put into just polishing handrails. Disney also added a variety of gift shops, expanded the Sir Winston's restaurant to include a piano bar, refurbished rooms and flooring, and above all, hired actors and actresses to walk the ship, as if guests were transported back to the late 1930s. All of this was done to hike up excitement for Port Disney, and it would have worked perfectly in Disney's favor. at least until the problems started flooding in. After Disney announced the plans for Port Disney, there was almost an immediate backlash from locals and businesses who did not want to deal with Disney in their backyard. Locals were against the idea, since having a massive theme park in the middle of the city meant that already crowded roads would be filled with even more traffic and, worst of all, tourist drivers. Now, Disney did in fact have a plan to fix this issue. These plans were new ramps, expanded roads, and a direct path to and from the resort, most of which was going to be out of Long Beach's pocket. However, that plan was set to cost around the low price of $880 million. Yikes. I'm not an accountant or anything, but $880 million is quite a bit for some new roads, if you ask me. Another problem Disney had was with the environmentalists around the area. The proposed plan had a large portion of Disneysea built on top of landfill in the port of Long Beach. Environmentalists argued that filling in a large portion of water with landfill would not only harm the wildlife along the shoreline, but would also be a gateway to offshore oil drilling platforms, something both the city and locals didn't want. And yet another problem Disney faced was with the new cruise ship port they were planning to build closer to the bottom of Port Disney. This cruise ship port was dangerously close to Los Angeles' cruise ship port, which may or may not have, pissed them off. Finally, the last nail in the coffin was the Queen Mary. Boy, this one's a good one. In order for Disneysea to even be built, the Queen Mary needed to be moved over by some odd 1,000 feet. 1,000 feet honestly doesn't sound like much, but in the Queen Mary's case, this was a massive undertaking. After the ship was brought to Long Beach, it sat in the water for nearly 30 years with little to no maintenance outside of aesthetics. Because of this, floors buckled underneath their own weight, rust started creeping up the walls, and lower areas of the ship started to flood with water. On top of that, the majority of the bottom of the ship was filled with cement, making the entire superstructure brittle and weak. This, combined with the other problems, made moving the Queen Mary a huge risk. A slight mistake in transporting the Queen Mary could result in massive damage that could potentially even sink the ship, something Long Beach and Disney did not want. Now, Disney did try to save the Port Disney project. They revitalized the whole plan to where it doesn't use as much landfill, to where they didn't need to move the Queen Mary, to where they shrunk it by about 75-50%. But it just never worked, and unfortunately in 1992, Disney officially announced to the press that they will be no longer pursuing the Port Disney project. Even though Port Disney was erased from history in 1992, the ideas and hard work put into the project were not forgotten, and can still be seen in places around the world today. Today, you will find most of these ideas in Tokyo Disneysea. More specifically, you will find, quite literally, Mysterious Island. There is actually a land in Tokyo Disneysea that has the same exact name and basic premise as the Mysterious Island from Port Disney in California. The only notable difference between the two is that they replaced the Captain EO attraction from the one in Port Disney with an attraction that more closely resembles Test Track, called Journey to the Center of the Earth. However, they do actually have a Captain Nemo attraction. It's just now a D-ticket attraction, and it's about Atlantis and aliens? I don't know. This looks like an alien to me. Other things like the explorable coral reefs from the Port Disney project were reimagined and brought over to the Aulani Hotel on Hawaii in the form of a underwater snorkeling experience. Also, Disney's Pixar Pier, formerly Paradise Pier, might have been slightly based off the Boardwalk idea from Disneysea. That one might be a slight bit of a stretch, because one sounds like a good idea and the other, well, As for things outside of theme parks, both the Queen Mary and Spruce Goose have seen significant changes over the same time period. The Spruce Goose airplane was soon moved after Disney sold off the leases for the Long Beach attractions, and now resides in the Evergreen Aviation Museum. The Spruce Goose Dome, however, is still there, and is now used as a Carnival ship terminal. A really cool fact, since Carnival and Cunard are basically the same company. Cunard owned the Queen Mary, and Carnival, well, the Carnival. I don't know how else to really explain that. As for the Queen Mary, some of Disney's $2 to $4 million changes can still be seen today. Although much of it has been removed over the years, many staterooms, hallways, and bathrooms still have their upgraded amenities and lights Disney installed many years back. On top of that, the Sir Winston Bar can still be visited today and is still in use, believe it or not. Even though Port Disney was an absolute failure in Disney's books, it gave new life to the ideas around the world and brought life back into the Queen Mary. Many years have passed since Disney has even set foot in Long Beach, but the impact that the project has left can still be felt to this day. Hey guys, Vsauce here. I just wanted to thank everyone here for watching all the way through in the video. I really do appreciate it. I know this video took me quite some time to do. It took me about a month, a little longer than expected. But regardless, I really do appreciate all of you for watching all the way through. It really means a lot to me, and it would mean even more to me if you could leave a like or leave a comment, or if you want, you can even ask a question down below. Anything is fine. You know, I really love doing this stuff, and I don't really care if I get support or not, but learning about Disney history is always just so much fun. Anyways, I don't want to take too much time because this video is already well past 10 minutes, almost about to hit 11 minutes. So I'm just going to head on out, and I thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you probably on the next video. Adios!